This is my Adam Green collection. First off, I'm going to start by a story of how I found out who Adam Green was. Hatchet. I remember when Hatchet was not released to theaters, but I remember seeing a movie at Walmart called Hatchet. So I just saw the DVD, the case, right? So I'm like, what's that? So I pick it up, look at it, and what intrigued me at first was, first off, like this one doesn't have it, but I think on the DVD at that time it said, and some of the DVDs and some of the covers had it and some didn't, but that one did. It said Adam Green's Hatchet. This one just says Hatchet, but it said Adam Green's Hatchet. So I'm like, who's Adam Green? You know what I mean? But I picked it up, looked at it. I think this was probably basically the cover too. It had a hatchet, so I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I looked at the back, whatever, and the reason that I wanted to see it was because it had Kane Hodder, that's Jason. It had Robert Englund, that's Freddy, and Tony Todd, which is Candyman. So right there alone, you're like, okay, I got to see it. I want to see it. So right away, I told my one friend who, because I mean I like horror movies, but I'm not a huge horror fan. Like I'm not like some people. Some of my friends like only watch horror movies and that's it. So I'm not like that. I watch a lot of different movies, a lot of genres, all movies really, pretty much any genre, and I like horror movies, but I'm not only horror. You know what I mean? So my one friend who pretty much only watches horror movies, I told him about it, and I was like, 'cause, you know what I mean? It's got those three guys in it: Kane Hodder, Tony Todd, and Robert Englund. I mean, even if the movie wasn't that good, it's worth a watch just for them three alone. So, but I had no idea who Adam Green was, you know what I mean? But the fact that it said Adam Green's Hatchet kind of got me interested too, because I always like when like Francis Ford Coppola has like Bram Stoker's Dracula or Mario Puzo's The Godfather, a name. Those are the writers' names before it, but like some of the prints for Clockwork Orange would say Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange, so that's the director's name before the movie, and I always liked that. So when I saw Adam Green's Hatchet, I'm like, who's Adam Green? so I remember I told my friend, but then I never watched it. For some reason I didn't end up watching it. So, and this was 2006. So, some reason I skipped over it. Because I watched so many movies that. I mean, sometimes there's a movie like, well, I want to see it, but then I don't until later, or I just never see it until somebody else tells me how good it is or whatever. So for some reason I skipped over it, didn't watch it. And then when Hatchet 2 came out, I'm like, oh, I remember when Hatchet came out. And this one does say it, Adam Green's Hatchet 2. It has the name over the top, like the first one did. So Hatchet 2, and a lot of times when I skip over a movie the first time that I think might be good, but might not be. Like sometimes I skip over movies because I'm like, well, it might not be good, or the preview might look good. And a lot of times the preview tricks you and the movie's not that good. So a lot of times, I mean, I just watch so many movies that, I can't watch them all. I can't watch all the movies that I want to watch. And some movies go on a list for me to watch later. And like sometimes it takes me like, years to watch a movie because I have so many other movies I'm going to watch before. So anyway, a lot of times what happen if I skip over something, but then it has a sequel. I'm like, okay, now it's time to watch the first one because there's a sequel, and I wanted to watch the first one. So now there's a second one. Now there's a Hatchet 2. I'm like, okay, I need to watch the first one. So finally, I think when Hatchet 2 came out, I finally went back and watched the first one. Okay, and yes, I liked it. I mean, what I really liked about it the most was the humor. It was hilarious. I mean, there's a lot of humor, and it was funny. So Hatchet, and I don't know if I watched them. I can't remember if I watched them both, or maybe I watched the first one but didn't watch the second one. Actually, I think what I did was when Hatchet 2 came out, I went back and watched Hatchet. Finally, but didn't watch Hatchet 2 yet. So then when Hatchet 3 came out, and I think this is how it happened. When Hatchet 3 came out, I'm like, okay, now I gotta see Hatchet 2. So then I think I watched Hatchet 2 and 3 in a row. Finally, when Hatchet 3 came out, I think that's how I did it. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, these are good movies. So then I'm like, okay, who's this Adam Green guy? So I go to IMDb and look up his name, his discography, his movies, all his movies. and see that he has Hatchet movies. I see a movie called Frozen, right? So I'm like, okay, let's watch that. And actually, Frozen was another movie just like the first Hatchet. That when Frozen came out, I remember the preview for Frozen. It was in theaters, and I thought, oh, that looks good. But then I thought, well, that might be another movie. And I didn't know Adam Green. I didn't know it was Adam Green. I didn't know it was the same guy who did Hatchet. But I remember seeing a preview for this and thinking that looks good. But then I thought, well, that might be another one of those previews that makes it look good, but the movie's not. So I skipped over it. Right. But now that I saw it on that it's the same director as Hatchet, now I'm like, okay, let's go back and watch that since I wanted to originally watch it. And I watched this movie, and this is great. As much as I like Hatchet, this is even better. Probably, I mean, I don't know if it's more like, I don't know if it's because it's better made or if it's more real. Like, I guess it's not because there's not a monster. It's more or less that you could get stuck on a ski lift. I don't know if that's why it's better, but I thought I liked it better. You know, I mean, I liked them all, but to me, this one was my favorite of the four. So then I'm like, okay, this is a good movie. These are good movies. I want to see what else this Adam Green guy has done. So I go back on IMDb, I look up the rest of his movies, and I see a show called Holliston. I'm like, what is Holliston? I'll give it a try. I'll give it a watch, right? So I watched a couple episodes, and I'm like, this show is hilarious. So I watched the first season, and I fell in love with Holliston. I mean, that, and then I became a super Adam Green fan. Holliston made me a super Adam Green fan. The show, I love this show. It is hilarious, and it's, I mean, it's got some a little bit of like horror, gore, or whatever. But the main thing that makes the show so good is that it's funny and it's written very witty and very good, and the chemistry between the six leads. Adam Green, Joe Lynch, Corey English, and Laura Ortiz, the main four, who have perfect chemistry together. It seems like they've been best friends forever, and they are, best friends in real life too, and they are just perfect together. And it's basically, to me, how I would call this show basically Friends, but for horror buffs. And I mean, there's a lot of, and the other thing I like about it is a lot of horror references. Of course, like I said, I'm not a huge horror. I mean, I like horror, but I'm not a huge horror. So some of the references I don't like. Some of the movies I reference, I either haven't seen, like I've heard of, but haven't seen. Like, I don't know, like some of the Stephen King stuff that I've obviously heard of but haven't seen, or some of the movies they reference I haven't even seen at all. So, but there's a lot of horror references and a lot of movie references, which is another reason that makes it so good for me. But I would say, I would call this friend or the show. The way I would explain it is, it's Friends for the horror buff, like the way Joe and Chandler were friends, Adam and Joe, and then you had the other, the girls on the show. You got Corey and Laura. So it's basically Friends for the horror buff, and that's how I think of it. And that's how, I mean, but the show is so good. And Dee Snider, who I don't listen to a lot of heavy metal, but I know Dee Snider from Dee Snider's Strangeland, a movie from the '90s when I was a teenager. So, and I wouldn't even know who Dee Snider was if it wasn't for Strangeland. But Dee Snider, and then Odorous from Gwar, who I didn't know anything about Gwar either. The only thing I knew about Gwar was from being on Beavis and Butthead, always listen to Gwar or watch Gwar videos or whatever on Beavis and Butthead. That's the only reason I even knew who Gwar was. But they are perfect too, and I mean, this show is perfect, and the show to me is perfect, hilarious, and became my second favorite show of all time. I watched a lot of shows as a kid too, and really this became my second favorite show after Twin Peaks. I don't know if this is a half-hour show, so it's basically like a sitcom. Twin Peaks is an hour show, but if you don't split them up between sitcoms and whatever, to me, Twin Peaks is my favorite show. Holliston is my second favorite. show of all time. And Ray Wise, who is Leland Palmer on Twin Peaks, also is in one episode of Holliston season 1. And the other good thing is that it has a lot of guest appearances from horror icons like Kane Hodder, Ray Wise, and Tony Todd. It's another thing. I mean, this show really, there's a lot of good things about the show. I mean, all the horror icons that show up as guest appearances, the humor, the chemistry between them is just, to me, it's a great show, a perfect show. So then when Holliston season 2 came out, I remember I watched Holliston season 1 when it was already, I guess it was already out. By the time I found it, I guess the first season was already out. So, but second season wasn't, because I remember I had to wait for second season. I just couldn't wait, and I remember it was months and months. So I kept looking online for it to be released on DVD or Blu-ray, and it just wasn't there. It wasn't there, and it was months and months. So I stopped looking. And I remember reading about a Christmas episode that I wanted to see at Christmas time, which I thought would have been perfect if it was out at Christmas time, whatever year that was. I don't know. I don't know if this was 2012, I think. So I don't know if it was a 2013, but I wanted it, but it wasn't anyway. It wasn't out by Christmas. It wasn't released on DVD or Blu-ray by Christmas, so I didn't get to watch that Christmas episode till later. But so I stopped looking for it, and then finally I went back. Oh, the Holliston season 2's out yet. So I looked back online, and it was out. So I'm like, oh shit! So I bought it right away, and Holliston season 2 just gives the first. This one has now, like they try different things. So there's an episode in here. There's a Christmas episode, which is by itself, so it's like 45 minutes. The other shows are like, I don't know, half hour or whatever. This one's a little bit longer. A Christmas episode in this one, and there's also an animated episode, which is hilarious because the whole episode, these guys, they're Adam, Joe, Laura, and Corey are all cartoons. And his cat talks. Axel, his cat talks. So it's funny. So so then anybody who knows, obviously, who's an Adam Green fan or a Holliston fan knows that after season 2, the show that they're on, FearNet, went out of business or whatever. The whole studio or whatever you call FearNet, the whole network, I guess, just went out of business or whatever. So that was gone. Adam, who was married to Riley Vanderbilt, who she was in the last 2 episodes of season 2, they were going to get together. They got divorced in real life, so that would have screwed up what was going to come next. And Odorous died in real life, passed away in real life. So that, obviously, and him and Adam were real good friends. So those 3 things happened basically all at the same time, which meant there was going to be no season 3. And a lot of people love Holliston. I mean, I love Holliston and I looked up online and everything, and a lot of people love Holliston. So it's got a big fan base. So all those 3 things happened at once, and it seemed like there wasn't going to be a season 3. So I started Twitter in 2015. I don't know. It's 2015 right now, but I'm not sure which month. Probably maybe 6 months ago or whatever. Somewhere in 2015, I started Twitter, and Adam Green was the first one I followed, basically because I was still on this Holliston kick, and so I go on Twitter, and Adam Green, the first person I followed was Adam Green, right? But then I followed obviously Joe Lynch, Corey English, and Laura Ortiz, and Adam Green's the first person who interacted with me. Adam and Laura were the first persons who interacted with me on Twitter. Like I would write something, and then they would like it or retweet it or whatever. Like send me saying, "Oh, I love Holliston" or whatever, make a reference to it or something, and they like it or retweet it or whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh! So that was the first time I ever talked to any celebrity ever, was Adam Green. So that makes it even so much cooler. And the thing is that he is so cool, and Joe Lynch. I've talked to Joe about Everly, his movie Everly. And I asked him a few questions. He answered them back. I mean, that's so cool. Not all celebrities do that. So that's so cool. And Joe Lynch also, him and Adam are best friends in real life and on the show. Joe Lynch directed Wrong Turn 2, and everybody knows what that is. Wrong Turn movies. Directed Wrong Turn 2, Nights of Badassdom, and Everly, which has some hype, and that's a movie that just came out. And so he was a lot of people were talking about Everly or whatever. And so I asked him a few questions. He answered back. Corey has written back to me like I gotta say something, and she writes something back. And so these four guys are so. I mean, these four are so cool. Adam, Joe, Corey, and Laura are super cool as people in real life. I mean, at least on Twitter. I mean, they're not all celebrities write back to their fans, or not all celebrities appreciate their fans like these guys do. And so so I got on Twitter, and Adam announced that there is going to be a Holliston season 3. Like, everybody went crazy because everybody loves Holliston. So there is going to be a season 3, which I just can't wait because I love the show. Also, because of Twitter, I know about Adam Green's Scary Sleepover, which I think I started Twitter when they were on episode 3 of Adam Green's Scary Sleepover. And so I found that show, and I'm like, oh, cool. So, and this is a show you watch on Adam's site, Airoscope.com. He owns his own studio, Airoscope, and Airoscope Studios, and it was on Airoscope.com and YouTube, and you can watch Adam Green's Scary Sleepover, which was every Friday. So I started them on it was on the 3rd episode, I think, and when I started Twitter. So I found them, started watching that every Friday. Then after that was over, season 1 was over of that, 20 Seconds to Live, produced by Adam Green, was on every Friday. After that, every Friday after that. So I watched every single one of them, and then Adam Green's Horrified is on now. Started after that every single Friday. So every single Friday since I've watched every single episode of those 3 shows, which are free online, which is another cool thing. I mean, that's free. So I think there's only 3 more episodes of Horrified left, and then Adam Green's Scary Sleepover season 2 is going to start. So I've watched all of them. Like I said, after I found Holliston, I became a super Adam Green fan, and like these movies I didn't own at the time. After Holliston, I bought Holliston. I went back and bought everything I could find on Adam Green. Like I said, I joined Twitter, watched Adam Green, follow Adam Green on there, and Joe and all them, and watched all the shows, the internet shows that were free online. So I went and bought everything I could find from Adam Green. Spiral, which is a second movie, and the only one that's not technically horror. This is a thriller, and I'm not sure why I didn't really look into it, but it's co-directed by Adam Green and Joel David Moore, who stars in it. And this is actually a pretty good movie. The girl, Amber Tamlyn, really gave a good performance, I thought. And it is a thriller, not a horror, but a thriller. And it's a good thriller. But this is his. He had his first movie was called Coffee and Donuts, which I don't think ever got released. That's a movie you can't find. I couldn't find anywhere to buy it or even watch it online, not on YouTube or anywhere else online. I couldn't find it, even watch it. So that was technically his first movie, but I don't think it was ever released. And then the second movie was Hatchet, which Joel David Moore is in Hatchet. And third movie was Spiral. So got his third movie. Joel David Moore is also in Chillerama, which that's the only one that is released that you can buy that I don't have. Chillerama is like 4 segments from 4 different filmmakers, and Adam Green has one where Joel David Moore plays Hitler, and I actually thought Joel David Moore's Hitler it was a comedy, but he played a really good Hitler. I thought, it was funny, but the way he looked and the way he acted and everything, I thought was actually really good. So Chillerama I don't have, and I mean no offense, but I didn't think it was. There was 4 different stories, and I just didn't think it was that good. I'll probably buy it eventually because the only really good part of that was Joe Lynch directed the one. It's like there's 4 movies and there's a wrap around. Like they're at a movie theater and they're watching these 4 movies, but then in the end this zombie outbreak happens at the theater, which is the wraparound part called Zombie Movie, directed by Joe Lynch, and that actually is really good. I just didn't think the other ones were that good, but that was really good. And then the other thing that was good about it was the end. There's the 4 filmmakers, which includes Adam and Joe, and the 2 other guys that I don't know. They're sitting in a movie theater, basically watching their movies, maybe basically watching Chillerama, and then they talk. E.T. is Adam Green's favorite, movie ever. So he always talks about E.T. and somebody mentions E.T. and they're like, E.T.'s gay, and he's like, what do you mean he's gay? E.T.'s a plant. How can he be gay? How can a plant be gay? So that's funny, and the fact that you got the 4 filmmakers in a theater watching Chillerama is cool, and Joe's zombie movie is good. And I mean, certain aspects of Adam Green's the one with Hitler, I forget what it was called, but it was okay. But the rest of them weren't that good. But I probably still should buy it just to have it in my collection. But for now, I have this is all I have. Digging Up the Marrow is his newest one, and when I joined Twitter, he was actually doing. I think like this would just have been released. I think when I joined Twitter, so whenever that was, probably early 2015, I guess, because it was everything he was talking about. Digging Up the Marrow and Joe Lynch was Everly, and they came out at the same time, which was cool because his best friends, 2 movies at the same time. But Digging Up the Marrow, I didn't get to see right away because I was broke, and I still am broke. But I didn't get it right away, so I didn't. There was a while where I didn't have it, but I finally got it. And I remember the preview didn't make it look that good. The preview it didn't look that good from the preview, but after watching, I'm like, okay, that is a really good movie. And I don't know why, but the preview just didn't make it look that good. It just so anybody who hasn't seen this who thinks the preview is like, oh, it doesn't look that good. From the preview, I mean, I don't know. The movie's good. The preview just didn't look, to me. The preview didn't make the movie look that good. Like I was like, well, it might not. Like I love Adam Green, but it might not be that good. The preview just didn't do it justice. The movie though is good and stars Ray Wise from Twin Peaks and from Holliston, and this is a good movie, and I really liked it. I just didn't get to see it right away. So but finally, I got it, and as of now, this is all the Adam Green stuff that I could find. On his IMDb page, you have he has a lot of shorts, which I actually watched. Like I said, I watched all Adam Green's Scary Sleepover, all 20 Seconds to Live, and all Horrified, which is almost over 3 episodes. And he has every year he makes a Halloween short movie, which I've watched all the ones, or at least all the ones I could find. So probably all of them or most of them, of all his short movies. And on here, Coffee and Donuts is his first movie, which hasn't been released, can't find anywhere. And I think I saw an interview or something. He said he didn't know, but he made he had stuff like shirts and stuff in there where like he didn't know at the time, but you weren't allowed to have like logos or something, or I don't know, I don't remember exactly, but some reason they couldn't release it. But so Coffee Donuts I don't have. There's a movie from 2007 called Cheerleader Camp. This is a TV movie. Whatever that is, I can't find it online to watch or to buy, anywhere to buy. On DVD, I don't think it's ever been on DVD. Whatever it is, I can't find that either. And everything else, except for Chillerama. Everything else except for Chillerama I have. So as of now, what happened to the color? So everything else but Chillerama I have as of now. And next, well, actually, the other thing is Tales of Halloween, which Adam only acts in it. He doesn't direct it, he doesn't write it, but he acts in it, and I really want to get that. But I was hoping that was out by Halloween, which was just 2 weeks ago, but it wasn't. So whenever that comes out, I'm going to get Tales of Halloween, and that's going to go in this collection. Even though he didn't direct, he directed all these. Even though he didn't direct Tales of Halloween, I'm going to put that in the my Adam Green collection when that comes out, which is not released on DVD yet. And then next for him is going to be Holliston Season 3, which I just cannot wait, because as much as I love Hatchet, which are good, as much as I love Frozen, which is good, Digging Up the Marrow is good, Spiral is good, but Holliston is like the best. So so Holliston Season 3 is the next, and that's next year, 2016, and I can't wait for that. So that'll be next, and this is my Adam Green collection.